Okay, everybody. I wanted to share how things have been going here recently. I know if you guys watch, I've been definitely trying to climb the tier ladder, but just to give you an idea of what we've been facing here. So in my first match here, noticing I'm going against Fractal Bird Up. So that's going to be the first one that I go through, and let's see how it goes. Obviously, you see how I win, but a great duel overall here. Now, my opponents don't realize I actually want to go second. That's the plan. That's my whole thinking here is I want to go second to build the, to break the boards. So that's why I've got the kaijus here. They're just so effective. Okay, so he starts with Caress, gets rid of the Leerless card, goes ahead and gets out Canary. That leads to a Link 1 of the Salamander Great Link Monster, Alamarage, which is just so good. Uses the effect here to banish 2. Uses the Harp Lady card here, which I was not anticipating. And I thought this was very effective because it gives him some more. I thought, wow, not what I was anticipating. And then, so smart here, the barrier statue. So this was a huge problem right away. I just go ahead and normal summon, attack the barrier statue, go to main phase 2, kaiju some more, because I don't want that. I see that he has the max C, and I'm like, crap, that is a problem here. So I go ahead, I get out the researcher. I don't want to extend too much here because I know what that can do, him getting the max C. But I know at the same time I don't want to leave a huge beat stick out on the field. So I go ahead and I go for my powerful card here. I go for Dragite. Now I know I've given him a few cards, but I can't just leave that kaiju on the field. So I go ahead and I use my effect here. And at first I'm like, oh gosh, get me a rock please. Because if not, I did all this for nothing. That puts the kaiju back, and then I set the trap. I do like the trap. It's actually come in clutch for me several times. So right away he tries to use Fire Formation Tenki. I don't want him to get that off, so I actually go ahead and negate that. So that ends up going. I knew he probably had something since he was playing Leerless. So he does have the Bird Call, which is pretty effective. So he goes ahead and uses Fractal here. And he gets out the Leerless card. Then he goes ahead and gets out Cobalt. Now, at this point, he's got the Nerval, which is really smart too. Now, I thought about actually using my Relief there. But I wasn't sure if he was going to do something with the Tri-Brigade stuff, so I waited. So he goes ahead and uses Recital's effect to get a Leerless card that he wants. Goes ahead and uses the effect here. Now, here's where I do decide to use this. So I go ahead and pop my Adamancipators card. Now, that allows me to actually have a card that happens here where my supplier goes off to give me a special summon. He does add Kit. I'm able to use the effect and add a Guardian from deck to the hand. So I'm not feeling terrible about what I've got here. Now, I know he's bringing out some good stuff here. I knew that was going to happen. So he goes ahead and banishes using the Link 4 there. Then he goes ahead and uses the Barren Blossom here, the Tri-Brigade card. He gets the effect to add another Nerval from the Link 4 going off. Uses the effect here, and notice he's banishing again. He goes for 3, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, is he going to make an access code? That was my first thought. I was shocked when he did this. The Appaloosa made absolutely no sense to me because he knew that I had a kaiju back in the hand. I thought, oh, I don't understand. Because I thought he was going for the OTK. Because with having an access code, he definitely could have done that. So I feel like that was a heavy misplay on my opponent's part. Okay, so draw for turn. And I do like my draw. I feel it's a good draw. Okay, he's going to use the effect here. I just set one. Now, my hope is he's going to overextend. Honestly, that's my thinking. I'm thinking if he ends up overextending, I'm in really good shape here. because he's going to have a much harder time. Now notice this. He goes for the access code. So he had it the last game. And I thought, oh my gosh, I should have been dead here. Then I see that he goes for the bird up. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, all you had to do was normal summon and attack. So I thought, okay, he's got the game. No, he keeps extending. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to get this lucky. And right there's the primal being. And I thought, yes, I'm going to somehow pull off a comeback here. Love that animation, how that comes in. Notice this token, it's massive. 5,900 for attack. So he does get some cards here, but I think to myself, okay, I'm now in okay shape. I actually can do stuff. So he goes ahead, gets his cards here. He's going to overlay. When he does here, he's going to go for Recital again. He's going to use the effect. Okay. And he goes ahead and gets a card. So he's making a convincing situation for himself, but he has no other way to extend. Like I thought he was going to go into the other rank 1. I normal summon Guardian and I realize I'm in really good shape now. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and do the Ash. I'm actually going to tribute the Guardian here. I do not want that to go off. So I stopped the Ash from stopping my Researcher, and I'm hoping that I hit a rock. I'm like, oh, come on, you got to give me one. So I did get the Supplier, so I was very excited about that. And I also had Tackler there, which is good too, or Tackle Crusader. So I go ahead and I Synchro for 6. Okay, that's going to go ahead and give me Reptite, and I'm feeling really good about my chances now. I feel like everything is moving in the right direction. I was very excited when I saw the Analyzer. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I needed. So I go ahead and use the effect here, and then I saw I got Dragite right off the bat. I'm like, oh my gosh, it could not be better. Okay, so I get Dragite, and I feel like the draw of 1 is just too good not to take. So now I go ahead and I go in here, and I make Dragite the Synchro version here. Use the effect, and notice that I hit 1 rock, and I'm like, oh, come on, let me hit another one, come on. And I didn't, so I could only pop 1 thing back, and I just went ahead and put that one back. I'm fine taking that damage of Recital. I punch in for the 36, and then for game. I was like, yes! Especially with how bad that misplay was on his part. I honestly should have lost the duel, but that goes to show you in Yu-Gi-Oh! What if you misplay or even try overextending, what can happen. So that was my first match in Platinum, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's just crazy. So the next deck that I'm going against here, notice that it's Virtual World. And this is a definite difficult deck to get around sometimes, depending if they get going very effectively. So let's go ahead and watch how this one goes. Again, you know I win. And I've been doing very well in Platinum. Like it's been going the right direction for sure. Okay, and again, Platinum so far has been all Adamancipators. Now, right away I think to myself, okay, I actually like that I started with all these cards. So I've got the Primal Being, I've got the Raigeki, and I've got the Lightning Storm. All of this is very strong, very helpful for me, because I know that I can make this work. But I'm really going to need an Adamancipator card, and Friends helps me get there. It's a really good one-up. I don't like playing too many of it. But he's starting his plays. And Virtual World's fun. It's very grindy. It's a deck that I think I would like to learn more, because I think it fits my play style. Okay, so starts off real strong here. And I'm happy because this is going to be, I believe, his 5th summon here. So he brings out this card, though, and I wasn't sure if the Primal Being could stop this. So I actually just let that go through, because that was his 5th summon. And I was very nervous, oh gosh, is that going to work for me? Okay, so knowing what I have in the hand, I just kaiju it off. And then I play the Lightning Storm, and I destroy his spells. Now I go for friends. And I'm still feeling good. I'm like, okay, I think I can make this work. And I was hoping for something a little bit different. I didn't get the best thing. So I honestly just end. I'm rolling the dice here because I've got the primal being in the hand. So I think to myself, he's got my kaiju, but if I tribute everything off, I'm still okay. So he goes ahead, starts making everything work. Started off with the virtual world gate card that's the continuous spell, which is really good. It just does so much for virtual world. Notice he's synchroing off here. And goes for Cloud Castle. Okay, uses the effect, targets here. And I honestly thought to myself, I have to try. So I went ahead and tried because I thought if not, I'm dead. So I go ahead and I'm able to get out the primal being. Notice it's a massive token. Okay, so I go ahead and draw here. And I go ahead and use the Raigeki. I know I'm okay because I've got the kaiju in hand. And I'm just going to smack here. Notice I haven't gotten any of my Adamancipator stuff off. So I have to reveal the rock or Guardian gets destroyed. That's the drawback of those cards. They're very powerful, but you have to make sure you keep a rock in the hand or you waste it. So he's definitely finding a way to continue to extend. And I know I've crippled him quite a bit here by having removing 2 key boards that he was trying to build. So I'm still feeling pretty good about what's happening. So he goes ahead and synchros here. Okay, and when I see that he goes for this, I know he's desperate because this just does protection. So I see that and I'm thinking, okay, I think I'm in a good position if he's that desperate at this point. This was the worst draw I probably could have had, was the Block Dragon. Now, I decide I'm going to go ahead and bet it. I'm worried that this is an infinite impermanence back here. I tried to use the effect, and I was correct. It was an imperm. So I was like, dang it. So that definitely stops my play for that turn. And I thought, okay, now I'm kind of in trouble here. I haven't taken any damage yet, so I think I'm going to be okay with that. But, yeah, I just wasn't sure. So instantly he starts going into his plays again. And I know what he's going for. He's trying to synchro summon if he can. Okay, but I wasn't anticipating this. Now number 75 is pretty good because it's a quick effect and you can actually stop a lot of things. But as soon as I drew the kaiju, I thought, oh, that could not have been better. Then I go ahead and use Raptide's effect. Now I'm really to be able to go off here. So I get the Researcher out, use the Researcher's effect. And now I know that everything's going exactly the way I need it to. So I go ahead and use the effect, get out Dragite. Dragite's going to allow me to go ahead and get an extra draw too. Then I'm able to Synchro Summon. Okay, so I get out Raptide, use Raptide's effect, go digging some more. I hit the Analyzer, which could not be better. I also hit the Seeker. Both cards are excellent choices for me. I did go with the Seeker because I can make the rank 8 so well to get out the big Dragite. Okay, so notice I'm hitting the Tackle Crusader. I go ahead and banish to get out the Block Dragon. Now I can go ahead and make Dragite, and everything is looking absolutely fantastic for me. And I can special summon the Kaiju because he controls one. Now I go ahead and start digging. I hit some rocks, so I'm able to actually pop everything back at this point, and then I can go ahead and attack for game. And then I hit him with the Primal Beam. Yeah, it was a fantastic duel, guys. So much back and forth. But I just really had the right hand traps, or the right hand, starting hand, to go second, which was really good. Okay, so, oh, I meant to show you the deck profile, but that's fine. You'll see what he's playing soon enough. Yeah, so as you can see, these duels have been really intense. So I'm going against Sky Striker, and I go ahead and use the effect here. Okay, or he uses the effect, I should say. So he gets out Rose, normal summons the Rose, and I am not worried about the Sky Striker player here. And he gets out Shizuki here. He's going to get the end phase effect. This is fine because I have a Kaiju in the hand. The Kaiju is everything in this matchup, because if he controls a monster in the main monster zone, it shuts off all his stuff. So I was not worried about this at all. Now, I give him the Kaiju, special summon the Analyzer, use the Analyzer's effect, and again, already getting good stuff by getting out Dragite. So everything's definitely moving in the right direction here. The Crystal Dragite's just so good. Gives me that extra draw. Get the Doki Doki. Now, this was an addition. I decided that Doki Doki just made more sense. So I thought, yeah, this is definitely the way to go. So Raptide ends up happening now. I use the effect. And again, I'm definitely looking for a rock that I can use. And I did get one. So I got the Researcher. Now I can use the Researcher's effect, and none of his stuff is live because of what I've got going on here, which is great for me. Okay, unfortunately I didn't hit anything, but I would rather it happen there instead of when I have the Dragite. I just feel that makes more sense. Now I do go ahead and get rid of 3, use the Dragite's effect, because Block Dragon's just really good, gives me lots of protection. Okay, so I'm going to be able to pop a bunch of stuff back here. Okay, and it's great that I have the Kaiju back. I just attacked for the 3. Oh, I did have a mistake here. I did not want to special summon off the Doki Doki, the Crystal Rap Titan defense. That was a major mistake. That was supposed to be face up, which stopped my plays. But it actually works out. So notice he goes ahead, and I thought this was an interesting play. So he goes for Ace Zeki here, and very good. He banishes the Dragite. That was an excellent play on his part. I thought that was really good. And now he's able to start using his spells again. So goes into Hayate, attacks me directly. He's able to send off the Quick Play spell card, which is really good because it protects his monsters in the extra deck zone to be protected. So they're immune to stuff for the most part. Okay, goes ahead and he's going to go for Kagari here. And I'm thinking, okay, very interesting. Alright, and I used the Primal Being here as soon as that 5th summon happened, because I'm going to get all of the effective Block Dragon here, which is why it's so good. And it worked out having this like this, because since it was face down, the Primal Being doesn't stop it. Now he's got a token. That token being in the main monster zone stops all his spells. So they're not going to work the way that he wants them to. So guys, this is how you beat Sky Striker. This is the way you do it. You have to either lock them out of the extra deck or give them a monster that's in the main monster zone, and that's going to protect you in that situation. Now, he was very smart here. He knew that, so he goes ahead and makes sure that he's got a monster, and this allows him then to take my Primal Being, because then he can control any monsters in the main zone. Now, goes for Nightmare Unicorn, and he does do a very effective job of just really making sure that the field ends up being cleared. Now he can use Mobilize Engage again, because notice they all say if you control no monsters in the main monster zone. So everything's going the way that he wants it to. He's able to go ahead and link off here, and I was very surprised that he went for the access code, knowing I had a Kaiju in the hand. I just didn't understand the thinking here. He does banish the Block Dragon, but he doesn't realize that I play more than one. So, and I'm not sure if that's a common thing for players to only play one, but I do play 2 in the builds that I do in case this happens, because it's just too easy of a special summon. So on the turn, or on my draw phase here, I was really happy I hit the Doki Doki. Now, that's a good play to try that, but it doesn't stop the cost of the Kaiju. because I can still tribute. Then I special Seeker, and then I special Researcher. Everything was so good off that Block Dragon because he has to choose, what am I going to try and interrupt? I've got 3 cards I can go digging for here. So I get the Supplier, use the effect. That allows me to go ahead and get the Guardian. Everything is going exactly how I need it to at this point. Now, I do have a misplay here. I had not normal summoned yet. This was a special summon. I really should have got the Guardian out because that would have protected me, and I did not do that here. I foolishly was waiting because I could have been hit by his Primal Beam. So I'm off and going though. I do get the Tackle Crusader. That allows me to go ahead and get out Raptite. Okay, so Raptite's on the field now. Okay, then I use the effect. I return the multi-roll back to his hand. Now, here's why I should have had the Guardian. He had the effect Veiler. That shuts down what I'm trying to do. So, I go ahead and use the effect here. Or I tried to. But then I used the Doki Doki. Normal summon, get out the Guardian. And it honestly still works out. Because of what I end up with. I get Dragite. Crystal Dragite's so good because it gives me that draw. Then I go ahead and use the effect here. And I go for Infernity Doom, Archfiend. Now, why that card still works... Now, I knew by attacking he'd have cards that were live because he doesn't control any monsters. I do try to stop that. So I chain here. But there's nothing I can do because my effect is negated. I thought, why not try? Now, on the end phase, I forgot about this effect. So I'm going to end up losing this, but that's actually fine. I now have 2 of these out on the field. His deck revolves around spells. So by knowing that I've got this here, I'm feeling really confident. Now, he does have a good play by having the special summon of the Pankratops. I was surprised what he tried to do here. Now, he targets that, but I use the Guardian to chain. Instantly, he chains back. And he gets his Vanish effect here, but I chain right back with Dragite because I have Crystal Dragite in the grave, so that allows me to have the negation. So that ends up stopping that. So not too bad at all. Okay, he plays multi-roll. And then he's also got the token that he goes for. Now, right here, I instantly decide I want to take everything away. I pop both cards, and he has to surrender. So it was really a fantastic duel, guys. Like, yeah, I know, right? It really worked every way that I wanted it to. Now, the next one that we're looking at here, this one's pretty neat too. So just to give you an idea of the profile, so notice it's Tri-Brigade. It's got the Barrier the Storm Winds, and he's also got negations that he can do here. So let's go ahead and see how I did in this one. Obviously I end up winning, but I like for you guys to see that the road from in Platinum is very different when you think about my road from Silver to Gold and Gold to Platinum. For sure, it's very different. Okay, so I don't like my hand actually in this one. Now you guys might be thinking, why? Well, I don't have any kind of crazy removal back rows wise. I do now by having the Guardian. Now as soon as he chains the Max C, I'm like, darn it, that is a problem. And then he stops it with an Ash, and I'm thinking to myself, he's already used 2 cards here. Shakti didn't let that go through, so I just smack in for 5. I don't want to give him any more cards if I don't have to. So I go ahead and change the turn here, because that's all they need. Notice he can't do anything, which tells me he's probably got a bricked hand. So I'm now happy with what I've got. I've got a Raigeki, and I've got the Kaiju. Now notice he does go ahead and use the effect here, but that wasn't my normal summon. So I go ahead and use Seeker here, and then Seeker's effect goes off. I get Crystal Dragite, get the draw of 1, go ahead and Exceed summon, or Synchro summon, and then I get Raptite. Now I'm making sure I don't summon anything to this column. I'm too afraid that's an infinite impermanence. So I go ahead and use the effect, and it's not exactly what I wanted. It's okay. I get the block dragon out. I go ahead and just attack in, and I'm still feeling good because I've got the Kaiju in the hand, I've got the Raigeki. There's so much that I can end up doing here. So he uses the Lightning Storm, not realizing that block dragon offers the protection, and so ends up surrendering. So pretty fortunate, especially when it's a best of one like that. Now, for this next build that we're looking at, you guys can see that it's Eldritch Numeron. So I haven't thought about playing Eldritch Numeron before. Something I thought was interesting. He does have quite an interesting deck here. Instead of the Infinite Impermanences, he has Forbidden Chalice, which I thought was an interesting choice. So, and then he's also playing some Sky Striker cards to take my monsters if he needs to. So it's a unique build for sure, and I like unique builds. The thing is that I do know that there's times where you might have a bricked hand by having something like that happen. Okay, so notice the duel starts with me not having a very good hand at all. I've only got one option here, which is the Analyzer. That's it. Okay, so I draw for turn. Now, I do like that I drew a Kaiju. That's always good. I normal summon, and I just go ahead and figure, well, I'm going to try and activate here. And yep, I bricked. I thought, oh. So I just go ahead and smack in. Now, main phase 2, I do go ahead and set on this trap card here of Relief. It's just so good because I get a pop of 2 with it, which is very effective. Was not expecting him to play that card of Hey True Nade. I was very surprised to see that. Now I'm feeling fantastic. So I go ahead and activate the effect again. I do hit a rock this time in the Tackle Crusader, which is always good. And I also get the Guardian. I use the Tackle Crusader. I'm going to Exceed Summon here. So I go ahead and I go into Granite. Now I actually normal summon the Guardian to have the protection. Discard or detach 1 to get Researcher. Researcher summons because I control rock. Activate the effect. Now again, I'm thinking, oh come on, two in a row, or 2 times in the same, or basically in 2 turns. So I do brick, so I actually have to use the Guardian, which I did not want to do. That was the whole reason I summoned it. Now I do know because of this Synchro and having Supplier in the hand, that is going to lead to a special summon. And at that point my opponent realizes he's not going to be able to stop me with what he had. So a very quick surrender. Was very surprised by that. Now looking at the next one here. Okay, this was interesting as well. I thought, whoa. So this is a tough deck, Mathmech. I think Mathmech is very good. And as soon as I realized what he was playing, I knew I was in trouble. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. This was a very difficult duel. Just because the deck is very, very strong. It does exactly what it needs to do to be very effective. So in the main phase, he starts off with all his plays here, looking real strong, and I knew this was just going to be tough. I've faced this deck before, and it's good. I mean, without a doubt, this deck actually just really goes to work. And so notice he's making his Link monsters here, which are very effective. Both chains going off, targeting the monsters that are in the grave, also getting a token out. So notice both tokens. Oh no, this is the one that targets in the grave. Sorry about that. So he goes ahead and targets his Cyberse card. This one comes out. And I'm honestly thinking to myself, I really need a different play here if this is going to work. Yeah, Monster Reborn coming in clutch for him here. And he's got everything he needs to make this work. And the big fear is the trap. I'm not worried about the deck until I see the trap, because that's very difficult to get around if you don't have a response for that. And this card is very good. I didn't realize the protection that there is in this thing. I'm like, good gosh. it's pretty solid. So now I was like, darn it, he had to make that. So, and then he's got the trap set, and I thought, this is not a good situation. So I like what I have, and then he goes with Max C. And I'm like, oh, I've got to try here. So I do give him the draw because I want to attack into at least the Link Karibo, or Link Karibo. The reason being I wanted to have Adamancipator relief on the field. I thought that was going to be really important for that to actually work. So there's the trap. It's just so good. It does so much for this deck. And here comes the boy. This card is just so good. And I didn't realize that it also had built-in protection. So I was not anticipating that. And I think it's because of this one right here. Yeah, the Cyberse Wick kit is why that's happening with the protection. And notice he gets the trap. It's just so good. What's up, Taco Tony? So I try to pop the card, forgetting that this was here, and it doesn't go through. It fizzles completely. Yeah, and notice I've just wasted a situation there. And now I know I'm in real trouble. There's no way for me to actually stop him. And he realizes this, so immediately goes into the big guy. There's a reason this guy is called Final Sigma. So he goes ahead and attacks, and I knew it was over. Yeah, nothing could be done there. It was a disaster. Okay, so I was like, darn it. So then I go into my next one here. And so when I go into this one, oh yeah. So this one, again, it's Tri-Brigade. Okay, so, and this, when I go through this one, this is where I finally realize, okay, I'm going to have to do some things differently if I'm going to make this work. Because I do like to go second. That's always the plan for me. If I can go second, I'm going to go second. In a best of one, I feel like I'm way more prepared to go second. So notice he goes ahead and immediately starts with Fire Formation 10 Keep. I see what he's playing, and I instantly don't like my hand. Because I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get through here when I've basically got two Monster Reborns? All I've got is the Block Dragon, no way to summon it, and then I have the Kaiju. I'm thinking this is not going to go well. So he's doing everything he needs here. Bear Brum is really good. It's going to give him the trap that he's going to need. This is such a problem, this card here. Now, he does go for the Appaloosa. And I thought to myself, okay, I can get past that, but the problem here is also the Ancient Warrior's Oath card, because for a quick effect, he can just pop something. So it's a problem. So I draw for turn, and I laughed when I was drawing. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So I go ahead and try to battle, and I knew he was going to use the effect. It pops the card back to me, and I thought that's at least something. So, oh no, that's fine, Taco Tony. So then I go for bluffs here, basically. And so I'm looking at what he's making. He goes ahead and makes Shireg. Just so good, this Tri-Brigade card. Just so much advantage. And then when I see that he's able to use the effective Nervall like this, I thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is done. Oh yeah, I bet it's good, man, without a doubt. So he's able to banish, and once he sees what I've got, it all comes down to what he does here next. As soon as I see this, I know it's over. So I went ahead and admitted defeat, knowing that there's just no way I'm going to come out of that. So I made a change, and my change was I went and got 2 more Lightning Storms to try and roundabout everything. Now, after this, I faced Dragon Maid, okay? And so I'll show you what that one looks like. And I feel whenever I make these tweaks, I just feel like I am on the right path. Oh, Taco Tony, Skill Drain is a heck of a card. You are absolutely right, sir. Okay, so I look at this and I'm thinking, okay, right away adding the lightning storm to 3 is actually a good thing. And then when I realized that he was playing this deck, I thought, oh, this is actually terrific. This is going to lead to me having an opportunity to really change things up. But then I saw, oh, he's playing Sky Striker. I thought, that's interesting. So as soon as I saw that, and then I saw I've got my 2 primal beings, I thought, oh, he's in trouble. Because he's going to try and really extend here pretty far. And if he doesn't have some kind of negation, I can just bring out the primal being. So I go ahead and bring it out. Give him his massive token. Which really isn't that bad this time. And then he's got to end. So I felt really good about that turn. Oh yeah, Taco Tony, the back row removal's tough. That's why I'm modifying my deck a little bit. I thought I got to do something about this. So notice I go ahead here and I'm like, thank goodness I hit something. So I Xyz summon, and what I Xyz summon here is for Dragite. Now, I did not mean to summon him here because I was worried that that could have been an imperm. I was fortunate. I do use the Tackle Crusader just to flip the card face down. Now I special summon. And that was just in case there might have been some sort of effect I wasn't thinking about. So again, I get some good stuff here. So I go ahead and use the Dragite. It's just so good for a draw. Oh, do you really? That is quite a lot of Twin Twisters, man. So then I go ahead and activate Raptite. I get the Seeker, which is a really good choice. So I do like what I've got. I special summon the Seeker. I use the effects. And I'm hoping that I don't brick, and I do not. I actually get out the Guardian. So really strong. Then I'm going to go ahead and Xyz summon. And I actually get out Dragite. So everything's just really clicking here. Use the effect. I go ahead and I get 1 rock, 2 rocks, 3 rocks, and so everything's going to go back to the hand. There's 4. Everything goes back, and now it's time to attack. So I smack with Dragite, I smack with the Primal Being, get with Guardian, and then here it is. Boom! Man, I just love hitting that card. Okay? So I end up with the victory. I was thinking, okay, not bad, not bad. That looked pretty good. Alright? And then the next duel that I've got here, this is interesting too. Grand Maju. So I thought, yeah, Taco Tony, I thought that too. I thought it was nice. So I've got the Grand Maju deck here. And I thought, ooh, he's actually got some good stuff here when I look at the deck. Now, this ends up being really weird. I don't know why he quits. So I was, this is going to end with a disconnect situation. But wait till you see this. Because it was a heck of a duel. Heck of a duel. Yeah, I know, the Pot of Desires. Now, right away, I don't like my hand. I saw it and I thought, this is not what I'm looking for. That did not help. So I have to normal summon Seeker, which is, to me, the worst situation. I never want to normal summon this guy. So I go ahead and I do get some cards. I get out the Guardian. I go ahead and Synchro Summon for Raptite. Oh yeah, there's lots of plays with it, for sure. Use the effect that special summons Supplier at the Guardian. Use the effect of Raptite to go digging, of course. And I hit the Doki Doki. So I was very excited about that. I also had the Tackle Crusader as an option. The Doki Doki is really good. Now, I should have left it in attack position. I did not. That actually would have been the better play. Now, I go ahead and Xyz summon here, and I get Granite. Okay, I use the effect, so I discard 1. That gives me Researcher. I use the effect of Researcher. Then I go ahead and start digging, hoping that I at least hit something. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no, please don't do that. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So I go ahead and get the Tackle Crusader because I was thinking, this isn't good. And then I go ahead and go for 8 here. Yeah, no problem, man. So I go ahead and hit in, and now notice the damage here. Look at this. I was just short by 500. So I feel good about what I had here, having relief on the field. I also have a negation in Guardian. However, I don't have any waters in the grave, so there's nothing to stop this. Now, this is interesting to me. So what he goes for here is he gets out Eater of Millions. I do chain. So I actually go ahead and get rid of my Synchro monster. He tries to change, so I go ahead and chain back using the Gate Guardian. Oh, I actually let it go through because of what he targeted. Now, he Monster Reborns here. What a card to have in the hand, right? I thought, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So he uses the effect, and he's got a rock. I thought, what are the odds of this man having that? So I thought, man, does that stink. So, and then, look at this, the normal summon. And watch this, though. The Tackle Crusaders effect goes off, and he quits. As you can see from this first match that we're going to be looking at, it's a Dark Magician build, so it's not exactly the strongest build for me to go through with my Adamancipators builds. Yeah, and anytime that happens, I mean, I'm thinking this guy's just trying to play more casual. Would be my guess, and that's okay. I get it. Okay, so a pretty good hand to start with, because of course I don't know what my opponent's playing, but as soon as I see that, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic, because I know with the Lightning Storm, all I need to do is pop his back row, and I'm honestly okay here. Now, he does use Magician's Rod to get Magician Navigation, sets everything, and at this point, I'm feeling terrible, because I know I've got the game more than likely. So, I go ahead and play this. He's going to chain Illusion Magic. That gives him 2 copies of Dark Magician from deck to the hand. But everything's getting popped here. So there goes all that advantage. And now I know that he has absolutely no interruptions at this point. I get out the Doki Doki, get out Analyzer, Special Seeker, and then using Analyzer's effect, that gives me Crystal Dragite. That gives me my extra draw of 1. And it's a great draw. So getting Researcher was great. I hit another Crystal Dragite. So that was really good. So again, I don't get this effect again because you're only allowed to do that once per turn. That's going to lead to Raptite. So Raptite coming out onto the field, activate, and I'm like, oh my gosh, hitting everything I could possibly want. If only all games were like this, right? So I hit the Guardian, and that was a mistake. I did not mean to put him in defense, but it worked out because I remember my opponent, he doesn't have any way to stop me. So I use Granite's effect to get Block Dragon, and then I special summon Researcher, use the effect, and again, I'm just getting everything I could possibly want here. It's all coming together. So I get out the Guardian this time, and then I also go ahead and I go for the Dragite, and at that point he surrenders, because next is going to be the Block Dragon. So really simple first game. Again, that just, I felt bad. So looking at my opponent's next deck here, this one is much more competent. So as you can see, it's a Shadal build. It's got Alistair the Invoker. So and it's got some pretty good cards looking at it. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? So let's go ahead and see how this one goes. I mean, you see I win, but it's always nice to see how that actually happens. Okay, so as you can see, what's up, Slam? I've already got a good starting hand. So I've got the Nibiru, and then I've got the Lightning Storm. So everything looks really good here for me. And again, there's that Link monster we've all been seeing lately. Okay, so goes ahead and uses the invocation. And he makes Makaba. Now, with that being out on the field, I know my Primal Being is offline. So that's a huge problem. I know that's not going to work the way that I want it to. Okay, so right away I'm thinking, okay, I've got to find a way to bait him here. So I do try to do it with the Lightning Storm. I was shocked that he allowed it to go through. So I go ahead and special the Researcher, then I special Seeker, and at this point I'm figuring, you know what, I'm going to just go for game. So I go ahead and I get Guardian out, and that will stop hand traps at this point. So I try to go for Seeker, I do the Tackle Crusader, and I also get Crystal Dragite, which is the better one because that then gives me the draw. Go ahead and go for the Synchro Summon, and again, at this point I'm figuring, can he stop me? So I go ahead and go for Raptite, and this was a crazy duel when it happened, everybody, because of all the cards that I end up giving him. Oh, I agree, Slam. I think that's something that needs to be changed. So I'm going to overlay here, and I overlay into Granite. Okay, and everything's looking really good. That gives me the Block Dragon, and then I go ahead and I go for Dragite. Now, this is a really interesting situation because I don't know what this face down is. And I try to activate, and he does have a response. So I chain the Guardian back, and then he called by. So the only card he had was a bluff the entire time. That's all I had to do there, was just that. So that's all I had. So his effect ends up going, or my effect ends up going through, but it really doesn't matter because now there's nothing on the field, and I'm so close to game. So I go ahead and I smack in here, and as you can see, I've got him down to 200, but I have to end my turn. So this was just crazy when this ends up happening. So right away, that grass looks greener. He gets it off. All the Shaddoll monsters' effects are going off in the process, and he is banishing everything that he thinks is a danger to him off Winda there, or Ariel. Okay, so notice he goes ahead and uses the effect, gets the special summon of the Shaddoll Beast, then he uses Magical Meltdown, has the Alistair that's in the hand, goes ahead and normal summons the Alistair. That gives him the invocation. Oh yeah, the chains do look fun, I agree. He fuses here, and what he fuses for is invoked again. And I'm like, or this card here so he can banish stuff. However, I'm pretty sure that has to target, and Block Dragon allows me not to be targeted. So that was huge getting that out. Then he gets out the Construct. So right now, he's still making stuff happen. And now Hedgehog goes off, then he gets Wendy. And then he's gonna shuffle that back in so that he can get a way to power up his monsters, getting over mine in the process. Now, I'm counting how many times he's doing this, and that's when I go for it. I figure I might as well. He uses Maxi in the process. What a chain. Yeah, this was a game, everybody. It was tight. So I tribute everything off. The Primal Being comes out. He gets his rather large token. It's massive. I'm going to get my advantage with Block Dragon here once he resolves all his effects. There's Block Dragon going off. And notice, he's only at 200, so I just really need to get something good here. I get the Doki Doki, I also get another Researcher, and I've got Analyzer. Everything going okay right now. He's got the Schism. There's Schism. Okay, so he goes ahead and uses the Dogmatica card here, sending 3. That's going to give him back Shaddoll Fusion. And I thought I chose a good time to interrupt. And look at this, all of these face downs. And he has to discard a Magical Meltdown. Okay, I thought I could not have got a better top deck. What a top deck. So he instantly goes here for the Schism, which is the right play. I mean, it's a very good play. So he goes ahead and banishes 2. And I like what he does here. This is so smart. So he brings out the Winda, and he's got it in defense. It's really strong. So I go ahead and I bring out my Dragite. I've got him in defense here. I activate and then I put something on top. I activate the effect. No, I'm going to hit at least 1 rock. I hit 3 rocks here, 4, so I can return 4 cards. I'm putting all the monsters back in. And then I go for battle phase. Now, I go for the battle phase and I'm like, oh crap, he's got core, but I chain Dragite back, causing that to end up fizzling. I'm thinking, does he have another one of those? If he does, I won't be able to finish the game here. He puts this Schism back in his hand, and then I go for the game. It was awesome, everybody. It was so awesome. It was an amazing, amazing duel. I thought, I can't believe I just pulled that off. So it was super fun for sure. Hey, what's up, Taco Tony? Okay, and then this next one that I've got here, as you can see, it's a Dogmatica build. And it's got the Magician Souls and the Spellbook engine running to it. And so, pretty strong for sure. Because if you're playing Control. So let's go ahead and see how I did on this one. Yeah, that was a really great duel, that last one. Taco Tony, you get to see that live. It was awesome. Okay, so he starts with Magician Souls. Just sends 1. That goes. Then he's going to use Magician Souls for the special. That leads to the link here. Like I said, this card's everywhere. Uses the Spellbook card. Gives him Spellbook of Secrets. Then he's going to use that here at some point to get that draw effect. Okay. Then he goes for Crowley. Uses the effect. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Taco Tony. So there he goes now, using the Spellbook of Secrets. That gives him a card from deck to the hand. Really good. Goes ahead and uses the Spellbook of Life. Okay, and then he's going to bring this out here. And I figure this is the time to go for the Primal Being. And I give him his token. It's not very good. He's got the Spellbook of Knowledge and he has to set 2. Now, I do control a monster, so my Lightning Storm, especially the one I just drew, is offline. I do just go for it. He does stop me, so the Ash Blossom does get its effect in. So very wise decision to play it there. And then we just go to battle phase. I smack into the token with Seeker, and then with the Primal Being, getting a good 3k in. And I'm actually feeling pretty confident. I don't think he's going to have enough to OTK me based on what's on the field. And he must have drawn into something that wasn't very good, so he surrenders. So yeah, really, really good stuff here. Okay, and then this will be the last match that I recorded before the season had its reset. Because I thought the first season was going to last much longer, and unfortunately it did not. Okay. Yep, so he's got all the right cards here. He gets the Mass Change off the Shadow Mist. There's the Liquid Soldier, and I know that's got to be a set Mass Change. And this is a problem for me, because if he banishes everything, I'm in trouble. So that's a huge, huge issue. You know, Slam, I like to stream on both, but the problem is that I don't have Steam for my computer. So this is the best way for me to do it, and honestly, it works just fine. So notice I get Drag-Eyed out. That allows me to special Researcher and Seeker. Both really good plays. The Suppliers are really good. Special because it gives me a Guardian from deck to the hand. And then I forgot about this effect though. Totally forgot when you add a card, he has a once per turn situation where he can banish something. So that's actually really good. And I don't think that's a hard once per turn now that I think about that. Yeah, it's not a... Oh yeah, it is once per turn. Okay. Okay, that gives me the Seeker. And I know I'm going to have to burn some cards here, and I'm okay with that, because I wanted to make sure that I could still make something happen here. So there's the Tackler. Now I know they're all banished, but I had to spend some resources for this to work. So there's the Void. So I get out the Drag-Eye, I use the effect here, and then I hit 2 rocks at least there. There's a third one, 4. Everything going the way I want it to. Those are put back in the hand. Now I synchro again, because at this point I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I could go for game. So the first time I brought out Leonite, and then I banish to get out the Block Dragon, hit in, and then of course I gotta leave it to the big guy. And I get the game. Super sweet. Yeah, this card is such a house. It's so good. So good. Thank you guys so much as you continue my journey with me of my road to Tier 1 Platinum. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Also, we'd love to have you guys be subscribers to the channel. If you ever want to catch the action live, we'd also love to have you guys be part of our Twitch community. Hey, thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Wait for your next challenge. I know that you